Hi, good evening. My name is Harold St. John from the Toledo, Ohio Ghost Hunter Society. Welcome to Ghost Talk. This is a video live chat session, our very first one that we're going to be doing. We're going to do a series of them for the next 6 or 7 weeks. I have Jacob Steiger, my Director of Youth Education, behind the camera tonight. If there's any comments or questions, he's going to let me know and read them back to me. I'd like to welcome everybody here tonight. We're trying to get the bugs out of this thing, so tonight could be iffy. We're going to go about 10 or 12 minutes tonight. We plan on doing this every Sunday evening at 7 o'clock live, and we'll just see how it goes. I want to talk about a couple of things first while we wait for maybe a question or a comment to come in. I want to talk about our upcoming events. Togs is going to be working with Camp Miaconda next Saturday with the Boy Scouts of America. That's going to be pretty exciting. We have a few things else that we're working on. We're working with the Sylvania Historical Society now. We have a PowerPoint lecture presentation that we do in the haunting season next year. We have that booked. Come out to see us at West Park Place on Executive Parkway next October as well. Cost for that will be $3. You can visit our website at www.toghs.org and go to the link where it says upcoming events, and you can see all the things that we got going on. A couple other things I want to talk to you about as we're waiting to see if anybody comes in. We're now in the process and in the beginning stages of putting a book together, our first book, and it has been 40 years in the making. We've got several stories written and edited and ready to go, so hopefully by late season 2016 we'll have our first book out. A couple other things I want to talk to you a little bit about. Like I said, this is a short test, so if things go astray, things don't look so good, that's the reason why, but we're working on it. We're going to be taking our annual summer road trip, and the cool thing about doing this live video chat, we'll be able to bring everybody along with us this summer as we travel through southern Ohio and into West Virginia and visit many haunted locations. Also coming, hopefully this summer, another trip back to Mansfield. Michelle Maddox, our public outreach director, is working on that, so hopefully sometime in June we'll be able to take everybody back down to Mansfield as well. One of the new things that we're doing this year that I'm pretty excited about, Butch and I have been talking about this for several years, and we've involved, once again, Jacob Steiger, our Director of Youth Education, in this. It's a whole new series, Urban Legends. It's paranormal fact or fiction. We're going to use some of these stories in the book if they come out well. Jacob and Steve Klocko, our videographer, are going to be on the road visiting 12 different locations in northwest Ohio and the surrounding areas. They plan on visiting the Gibbs Bridge, the Walcott House, and several other locations. And we'll be bringing that to you as well through our Facebook page, Toledo Ohio Ghost Hunter Society, and also on our website. So you can you'll be able to keep up to date on that. So I think we have maybe our first question.
Yes, Mike asks, are we allowed to ask questions during this live stream?
Yes, go ahead, please. I welcome all questions. So anyways, I'm glad everybody's here who may be here visiting us tonight. Tell your friends about it, and we'll meet back here every Sunday evening, 7 p.m. sharp. We'll just see how it goes. More importantly, I think what's going to really be cool is when we're doing our investigations, we should be able to bring you segments of that as we're investigating, so that'd be kind of cool as well. I just think that's neat. We also have our new Twitter account, and I believe you can see us on Twitter at Toghs2, T-O-G-H-S 2. So anyways, welcome aboard. I'm sitting here with a bunch of equipment, and I don't know if anybody's wondering what some of these things are, but I put some things out here that maybe I could talk about while we're waiting for a question or maybe a comment. Like I say, I think we have about 7 minutes left. We have something coming in. What do we got, Jacob?
Okay, Mike asks, how long have you been hunting ghosts?
Well, I've been hunting ghosts for probably 40 years. I started as a young man, grew up in a haunted house that I believed to be haunted, had a bunch of paranormal activity in it. Was just like any other kid, scared to death. As I grew older, I don't think I grew any braver, but that being said, I looked at it from a scientific standpoint and wanted to make sure that the things I was seeing and hearing, like anybody else, to make sure I wasn't crazy. So I started documenting. So a little over 40 years.
Okay, what got you interested in the paranormal?
Well, that goes back to the first question. I don't really think when I was little, I was any different than any other little kid. I didn't really have a big interest in the paranormal when I was very young. I think after witnessing things in the home myself, and then I think as going into our early teens, I think my interest in the paranormal was probably like any typical young teenager. I think when I turned 15 or so, I had a keen interest, a little bit more than the rest of my friends. I started, getting the old reel-to-reel audio recorders and the old Super 8 videos, and we'd go on ghost hunts with some of my friends. So, I think just knowing that there was something out there and always an interest in that as well. So I think that's basically it. It's funny that question said that this many years have went by. Togs has been together. Butch Leon, our other founder of the group, and I started this group, I want to say in 1998 or 99. I had belonged to a previous group investigating. He was doing things on his own. We had known each other for years, and just one day out of the blue, we were talking about ghosts. Didn't realize that we were both doing the same thing, so we kind of joined forces. And since then, it's been kind of a unique ride, to say the least. We picked up several like-minded people over the years. Michelle Maddox is a great investigator and a core member of our Togs family. Rebecca McClenathan as well. She's our case manager. Marie Steiger, my sister, who works very hard at what she does. She took some time off raising her kids, and she's now back with us. I'm really excited about that. And with Jeff Keith, our tech person at the table. So this group is really cool and it's kind of unique. We have some people that come and go. We have several members of our group that we don't really mention their names too much. Behind the scenes people. Steve Clockle, like I said, our videographer, is doing a good job, and he's got a year under his belt now. So we're excited about that. So anyways, I'm glad you joined us. I don't know how many people has watched this or even may have an interest in it, but we're going to find that out. So once again, thanks for joining us on the Ghost Talk. If you see this video on our Facebook, make sure you send a comment. I wanted to make sure that you all know how to reach us. We have one more question coming in. I'll answer in a second. Go ahead.
Okay, Greg B says, my good friends and I have heard what we believe to be ghosts in their home. Is this anything that you would ever be interested in investigating?
Well, sure. Here's the thing. You can contact us on our website under the contact page. We also have a phone number now that you can reach us, and it's also on our Facebook and our website. We're always interested in investigating. I mean, that's what we do. It's what our passion is. There is a rank and order of importance, I guess. Go to our Facebook page, and you'll find our phone number. Also, you can go to our website under the contact, and you'll find our phone number as well. Give us a call. Our case manager, Rebecca McClenathan, will call you back, or one member of the group will. We'll see what you got going on, see if we can help you. But I hope all's well. Hope the house is quiet and stay safe. Contact us if you feel you need us. We have another call.
Yes, Donna A asks, what's the scariest thing you have ever encountered?
I think as I'm older, I separate fact from fiction a little bit better. I think just growing up in a haunted house when I was younger scared me to death. But then again, I was a child. As an adult, Butch and I were down in Athens a couple of times where things got a little bit scary. There's been several times. I was with Butch one time, like I said, down in Athens, and he was pushed down a 4-foot ravine, and that's pretty scary to witness. I personally was never attacked, but there's been a few places where you get a little bit afraid, very much alert, and you're watching your surroundings. We did a poltergeist investigation several years ago on Dorr Street. That was also pretty scary. We try to stay safe. Our group have a strong spiritual background. We do opening prayers and closing prayers to make sure we're not attached. So we do the best we can. But on several occasions, I was probably afraid, to be honest. Great question. Is that it on the question side? We're going to let this end in about 2 minutes if somebody else wants to say something or chat something, and I'll do my best to answer. But once again, we're easy to get a hold of now. To the Ohio Ghost Hunters Society, we have a Facebook page. We also have a website. We have another call coming in, I'll take.
Yes. When is the next episode of Ghost Talk going to be?
We're going to do Ghost Talk. I'm not sure how long this series is going to be. And here's the thing. I'm the least likely candidate to do this show. I'm just not really good at this type of thing. But we're going to run it every Sunday night live at 7 o'clock. I think next week our public relations person will do a show next Sunday, Maurice Steiger, followed probably by Michelle Maddox. And Michelle Maddox will be very interesting to listen to. She can talk about house blessings and house cleansings and how you can keep your own home safe. So that'd be good. Butch Leon, our founder, which should be really interesting. He's an old school investigator. He should be very interesting to talk to as well. I think Jacob Steiger is going to come on, Director of Youth Education, to talk about what we have going on with the youth and how we're working with them. Michelle had put a series together, Ghost Hunt with the Pros, and we kind of linked Jacob in that with the youth investigator. We're going to continue to do that. He's working on the Urban Legends, Paranormal Fact or Fiction at this time, but he's going to do that. So every Sunday, we'll see how long it runs. I'm looking at 7 to 8 weeks. You know, if this becomes popular, we'll just keep running it till we can't run it anymore. So, is that it on the questions? All right, well, thank you for joining us. I don't know how many people's watched this, but anybody's taking the time to stop by and watch it. I appreciate your visit to the site. I hope to see you back here again next Sunday at 7. If you're in need of help and things don't seem right at home, you have every right to own your own home and to be happy in your own a peaceful environment. If you need our help, it's www.toghs.org, togs.org. You visit us on Facebook. We have our phone number and our email address is listed there too. You need to send me an email, togsteam@gmail.com. Thank you once again for joining us tonight. I'm Ghost Talk, and I'll see you next Sunday.